Welcome. Thank you for stopping by. My name's Oscar, and today we're transforming this space into a beautiful mid-century kitchen with a modern twist. For this project, we will be using IKEA Sektion cabinets. These are the white boxes. For the doors, the client has selected to use a walnut veneered front from Semihandmade. These fronts will be sequential, meaning the grain should match throughout. We begin by assembling all of the IKEA boxes. Once they have all been assembled, we install them to the wall perfectly leveled. They are now ready for doors and panels to be installed. Before I begin, I like to sort all of my materials. I put all of the components, still in their packaging, inside the corresponding cabinet. This makes it easy to find each piece that I need for each cabinet. It also ensures that the panels will match in sequence once installed. Like a book, I like to start from left to right. I begin by assembling all of the drawers first. I start with the first one up top, and I work my way down. When I get to the bottom drawer, I begin installing the front on this one. Remember, this one is built slightly different than the rest, meaning you have to set the front a little bit lower than the top ones. For the top ones, it's all the same process. And here you can see what they're looking like. Nice and smooth. This cabinet consists of 3 5-inch drawers up top and an extra tall drawer at the bottom, 15 inches tall. This allows you to store taller items while utilizing the top for cutlery and smaller stuff. And just like that, we are done with our first cabinet. We are ready to move on to the next one. This second cabinet here is our cooktop cabinet, and basically it's gonna have 2 tall 15-inch drawers with a cooktop on top. So I begin by building the first one, which is the bottom one. Remember, the bottom one's built slightly different, and it's the same for the top one. These extra deep drawers are perfect for storing taller items such as pots and pans, and it makes it easy to access when you're working at your cooktop. Next, we move on to this corner cabinet. This corner cabinet features a bifold door. Inside, we will assemble the carousel, which is basically a 2-tier tray that spins, making it very easy to access stuff. I begin by assembling the first shelf. Take your time, make sure you read the instructions here. This is a very delicate tray with the plastic fittings, but once you figure it out, it's pretty easy. You do the same for the second tray. Once you have both of these ready, you go over to your cabinet and you have to install the support for the rod. You put that in at the bottom with the trays already in the rod. You position it, and it should look like this. Give it a quick spin, make sure it's working. It should spin freely, and then it should stop in this position, like so. If it looks like this, you're doing it right, and we're ready to move on to the next cabinet. Our next cabinet here is the sink cabinet, and this cabinet's actually going to feature a drawer. When you're installing a drawer in your sink cabinet, make sure you get a shallow drawer. This allows for space in the back for your plumbing. And you can see you build this as a bottom drawer, so remember, give yourself that extra space at the bottom and connect the fronts. This cabinet will have 2 15-inch fronts. Here you can see I'm installing the tracks. This is the left one, and then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Here's a pro tip. Use a magnetic bit holder for your drill if you're using that. It makes a world of a difference. Sometimes these little screws can be a little tricky, but as you can see with the magnetic tip holder, it makes it pretty easy. Alright, and now that you have your tracks installed, you're ready to install the drawer. So you grab your pull-out drawer and carefully position it. Give it a little push, it should snap into position on its own, and then test it out, make sure it all works. It should be nice and smooth, look like this. Since this is a sink cabinet, it does require one additional step, and that is to replace the top rails on the cabinet. Here it is, article number 802-84580. And basically what you do is you remove the screws and remove this rail, and you replace it with this one. And what that does, it allows extra room for your sink, and so there's more clearance. You do the same on the back. Simply remove the 2 screws, replace it with your new rail, and put the 2 screws back in, and that's it. You're ready to go. And this is what our kitchen's looking like now. All the grain matches, all the drawers operate. We are ready for panels. I begin by cutting this panel to the depth of the cabinet. This panel originally came in a 26-inch depth, and I cut it down to match my cabinet. Here you can see I'm checking, make sure it's flush with the fronts, while making sure there's no gaps in the back. Everything looks good. So I move on to the next step, and it's marking the top. I mark at the top of the rails here, and I cut it using my circular saw. When it's done, it should look like this. It's looking pretty nice, flush with the floor, flush with the top of the cabinet, flush with the back wall, flush with the front of the cabinet. Here we get a better look at the front. You can see the front and the panel are on the same plane. And if it looks like this, you're ready to move on to your next panel. Here's the one on the far left. I did the same thing. I cut the top and I cut the back, making it real nice, making it fit perfectly on the side of the cabinet, flush with the front, flush with the floor, flush with the top, and flush with the wall. And now that I've got the panels out of the way, I'm ready to move to my upper cabinets. I begin by measuring the bottom trim. As you can see, I don't use a tape measure here. Instead, what I do is I take my trim and I put it up against the wall, and then I carefully mark it. Next, I cut the trim, and now it's ready for install. So as you can see, it fits perfectly from the wall to the cabinet, just how I marked it. And here I'm using a nail gun. This will help me keep the trim in place. And I do 2 nails on each side, 2 on the left, 2 on the right. And now I'm ready to move on to my top trim. For the top trim, make sure you use the finished side facing down. And I'm gonna carefully mark it here on the left side. It's flush up against the wall on the right. And now I'm gonna take this over to my miter station. I'm gonna cut right on the marked line. And make sure you have a finished blade here so you have a nice clean cut. As expected, the trim fits perfectly from the wall to the end of the cabinet. And for now, I'm just gonna leave that up there. I don't nail it or anything because I'm going to work on this cover panel. And it's the same process as the base panel. You measure and then you cut the depth. And sometimes you have to cut the height depending on the size of the panel. Here you can see I'm using my table saw to rip this panel. I'm doing a cross cut. And again, pro tip, make sure you're using a finish blade or a cross cut blade so you have a nice clean cut once you're done. And now I take my panel and I test fit it here. It looks like everything's fitting perfectly just as expected. So from the inside of the cabinet, I'm going to use 1¼ inch screws to secure the panel. And now that the panel's in place and it's perfectly flush with the fronts, now I'm going to work on my trim. I'm gonna make sure that that's flush with the top of the doors. And I'm gonna put nails in every cabinet so it's nice and secure. And it should look like this. It's looking pretty nice. Now I'm ready to move on to the next step. For here, I'm using my true position jig for the handles. These are extra long handles. They're looking pretty nice. And again, I start from left to right and from top to bottom. Just makes it easy for me to keep track of what I'm doing. Especially some of these handles are different sizes depending on the drawers, and so it just helps to keep everything organized. It reduces the possibility of making a mistake here, especially when you have sequential fronts here. You want to be very organized and very precise, because making a mistake on one of these fronts would mean you'd have to replace pretty much all of them. Alright, and handles are out of the way, and there's just one more thing I got to do here. I am doing a saddle cut. Again, this is to fit my cooktop, and so my cooktop is just slightly wider than my cabinet. So as you can see, I remove a 1/4 inch on each side of the cooktop cabinet. I make sure to clean all the dust pretty good, and let's take a look. So this is what it's looking like now. I think it's turned out pretty nice. All the grain matches up top. Handles turned out really nice. I really like how this black handle on walnut front looks, and when you open it up, it's white on the inside. These doors all have the soft close, so it's pretty nice. And your base cabinets are ready for countertops, and of course a little decoration. And with a little bit of magic, our countertops are now ready. And what do you think? White countertops with a cooktop? I think it looks pretty nice. Really brings out that walnut, makes it pop. And we're now ready to install the rest of our components, like a faucet and a backsplash. What do you think? Here's the project complete. I really like this tile. We got a hood fan there. Our cooktop is ready. Our outlets are ready. And yeah, this kitchen's ready to enjoy. Let me know what you think. I had a lot of fun putting this kitchen together. I hope you like it. If you have any questions, make sure to drop it in the comments. And just like that, I will see you on the next one.